ahead,
Okay, yeah.
Jenna.
Hi, I'm Tina. I work with Jenna. I do more of the product end and generating the reports and giving people audits about their chemical exposures after they've done our test.
Yeah, Tina also help us review all the products and all our approved product. Tina helps review that.
So
And then for
I go
other,
through the Door Organics products to make sure
yeah.
they're
I
right.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
um,
super important what you guys are doing. Sorry, go ahead, Jenna.
Okay.
oh no, no, I was just gonna say hi everyone. I'm Jenna. And I want to explain a little bit about Million Marker for anybody who's joining us, who's new, who don't know what we do. So at Million Marker, we promote for a toxic-free living. And then we love working with like-minded brand like Joy Organics. And as Tina mentioned, it's like a long time in the coming. So we're like super, super happy to have Hannah join us today. So just give people a heads up that, clicking the LinkedIn bio and tab our latest CBD post, and then you can use Million to get 20% off for Joy Organics product today. So, okay, I guess I'll just give a super brief intro that Joy Organics is a family-owned business that sells broad spectrum and also full spectrum CBD product. They have simple, effective formulas and real ingredients. Tina audited everything. And also everything that Joy sells is a third-party lab tested. And the product also have minimal packaging in glass jars. And then in addition to that, Joy also have free, carbon-free shipping. So we're going to talk more about it. Um, and then today, Hannah is joining us. Hannah is the director of communication at Joy, but Hannah has so many accomplishments. So I'm just gonna let Hannah introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me on. I think Joy Organics and Million Marker have a very similar passion to reduce toxins and promote health in our communities. I'm so glad we passed Tina's audit. I'm sure that that's not a simple process for you to make sure that the products that you're recommending are actually healthy, especially in an industry like the CBD
Yeah.
industry.
You guys have a great team. They're very responsive to all the emails and so helpful with getting all the information to us. So thank
Yeah.
you.
We're lucky to have a team that is super thorough, and I would not be able to do, I don't have the level of attention to detail that they do. I mean, I'm in the marketing, I'm more the creative type, but they are so thorough and they are
Yeah.
so responsive. So yeah, I'm really thankful for the team that we get to work with that makes sure that we're on the cutting edge of the industry and we're offering the most rigorous testing that we can.
Yeah.
So yeah, my background is in photojournalism and communications. I went to college in New York. And then after I graduated, I did some traveling. I did some freelance journalism in the Middle East and North Africa. When in the spring of 2018, my family started getting really interested in CBD. And this is a family founded company, and I am part of that family. And my dad called me. He's like, really excited about this product. It's done so much for your mom. Like, we're thinking about starting a business. Would you come and help us just like the launch? And they were just thinking small storefront somewhere in Colorado in Fort Collins. So I was like, yeah, I'll come for 6 months. Anyway, I'm still here. I love the industry. I love working in health and wellness and working on the education end too to help people make decisions that are good for them. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
This is awesome. So tell us a little more about Joy Organics. How did it get started?
Yeah. So my mom was dealing with some cost issues and in addition to that. And my brother was in town. He was visiting my parents. He was like, hey, what do you guys think about trying CBD? She was willing to try anything. My family's a very supplement oriented, a very natural product oriented family. So she goes to the local CBD shop. This was in Florida at the time, and she tries I think a CBD gummy, and it had a really beneficial effect on her. She was able to sleep that night, and she's like, this is amazing. We need to figure out like which products work, which products don't. So they ended up going to the store, buying all these different products and finding that a lot of products were ineffective or they didn't even seem to contain the ingredients that they claimed to contain. And this was a big issue. This is still an issue today in CBD, but it was definitely an issue, a bigger issue in 2018. So they kind of got together and they were like, what if we started a brand that can create products that are effective that people can trust. And that's how Joy Organics was born. So the process started in the spring of 2018, and then we launched the store in early July of 2018, and then we launched our e-commerce side of things in late July. So ever since then, we have been running full speed ahead. It's been an exciting journey.
This is so cool. And I know you mentioned that like you guys are all about transparency. Like why is it important for CBD brand to police themselves? Because I know that CBD is not heavily regulated. So tell us a little more about that.
So when we started in 2018, it was often referred to, the CBD industry was often referred to as the wild, wild west. It's gotten a little bit better as consumers have been a little bit more educated on what they should look for in a good CBD product. But as it stands right now, CBD doesn't have official regulations according to a lot of official regulations according to the federal government. So there's two bills right now. There's one bill in the House and there's one bill in the Senate that would cause the FDA or would cause the federal government rather to regulate CBD as a dietary supplement. So if that happens, then it's a lot easier for consumers to say, hey, if the CBD product is on the shelf at Whole Foods, I know that it's going to be something that works. As it stands now, without those official regulations, it's up to companies to make sure that they're testing at every phase of the production process, because just because you have worked with a manufacturer for a certain amount of time, doesn't mean that you have to stop testing, because you have to make sure that everything is in line and that everything is, the products are containing what you claim that they contain, and they also don't contain any contaminants as well. So it's up to the companies to sort of police themselves and the consumers to really push for and ask for the third-party tests and things to verify that the products are actually safe and effective.
That's great that there's a product in the market right now that is so accountable and doing all of these screenings. And so you're part of the U.S. Hemp Roundtable. How does that play into testing and making sure there aren't any contaminants?
So the U.S. Hemp Roundtable, it's a coalition of organizations and hemp companies and CBD companies. And in order to be a member of the Hemp Roundtable, you have to sort of meet these requirements. And that was easy for us. From the beginning, we pretty much were like, we want to be the most thoroughly tested in the industry. We want to have the greatest transparency in the industry as well. So when it came to applying for the membership on the Hemp Roundtable, that was somewhat of an easy process. But membership with them is awesome. They're an advocacy group. They're a big part of who Congress people and senators are speaking with when it comes to what does common sense CBD legislation look like. Right. So because they're such a big voice, we get to have a voice in it as well. We've gotten to be on some calls with some legislators and speak on behalf of really like what we want for consumers, which is for the industry to be a safer industry so that people feel comfortable with what they're buying. So the Hemp Roundtable, it's awesome. And they also give us a ton of updates on what's happening on Capitol Hill, what's happening in the industry, and things like that.
Okay, that's great.
Does that have to do with also your hemp sourcing process?
Sorry, say that again?
Does that have to do with your hemp sourcing process as well? Like that playing into the roundtable and then transparency and everything?
Yeah, so there's definitely, and the hemp sourcing process, that's going to play into third-party testing and things like that as well. So they definitely want to make sure that the members of that coalition are accountable and that they're making sure that whoever they're partnering with in the manufacturing process is responsible as well. We make sure that from the beginning, we've made sure that we only source hemp in the United States. Most of our hemp is sourced right here in Colorado. And we also, because so we have one of the largest lines of USDA certified organic products as well. We want to make sure that who we're sourcing from has that certification throughout the whole process as well. Okay. So we source from U.S. farmers, we source from U.S. manufacturers. Also, another aspect of that is there just are more regulations here. There are a lot of hemp kind of grown around the world, and hemp is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this process, but it's a phytoremediator or bioaccumulator, and I'm sure, Tina, you're familiar with that. And so what that means, oh, you're not? Okay. No. So what that means is certain plants absorb whatever is in the soil.
I see.
So, okay. Yes. So sourcing with those plants specifically, sourcing from really reputable farmers is super important. There was actually at the Chernobyl site, they planted hemp to try to clean up the soil because hemp does so effectively clean up the soil when you're consuming that hemp.
Right, yeah,
don't make sure but the soil is very clean
Okay.
and healthy.
That's good to know.
That
There's
was
a specific name
was
for them.
that was a long-winded response. Sorry about that.
No. We learned something new. It's good to know there's a specific name for these types of plants.
Very good.
Yeah, that's super important. And then that also brings up to topic, there's a lot of misinformation about CBD. Like when people are trying to buy CBD product, what are some things that they need to look out for when it comes to CBD brands, vetting them?
Yeah, I would say that, and we already kind of talked about this, but I'll just reiterate it because it is so important, is that third-party testing. You don't have third-party testing, and third-party testing with each batch. Some sites will have third-party test results posted on their website, but it's like they post every couple months. This is not a third-party test result for each batch. You want to make sure that it's for each batch, and you want to make sure that it's for both potency, which is how much CBD is in it, and then also for purity as well. So are they testing for the common contaminants that can be in that product? The other thing that I would say, especially for CBD, is making sure that they have a money back guarantee. Because if they're confident in their products, that's something that they should be offering, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then the last thing, and this is more of my opinion. This wouldn't necessarily be everybody's because there's some smaller companies that would do this, but I really do look for companies that aren't making health claims or drug claims. So what that means is if a CBD company is saying, hey, this product is going to cure, treat, or mitigate any symptoms of diseases, then they're really already breaking the rules of what they should be doing and how they should communicate.
Right.
If they're breaking that rule, like, what are the rules are there?
Right.
So those are the three things I really look for.
That's great. Thank you
Yeah.
for breaking them up into very clearly followable things to look for.
Yeah, we had a blog post written on it, so that
Oh,
works out at the
awesome.
time.
Okay.
So and we have a few more points in the blog post, but that's kind of what I tend
That's
to
very
go off of.
helpful.
And we have a lot of like just kind of things that we try to communicate with customers on a regular basis. So
Yeah.
makes this easy.
Great. Yeah, and it's also so helpful that you have it so accessible, the third-party testing results by the QR code. I cannot imagine not many people are able to set up that infrastructure.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I feel like some third-party test results are so difficult to find, and it had me questioning, like, why are these so difficult to find?
Right, yeah.
Like, if you are proud of your test results,
Exactly. And if it's for the consumer should be able to access it easily without clicking through multiple pages.
yeah, it shouldn't be this like complicated
Yeah.
esoteric process. It should
Right.
be a thing that everybody has access to and can easily access. You don't have to be
Right. Yeah.
a scientist to read lab results either. You can just look on there, and it's pretty
Right.
self-explanatory as well.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, I think people also get confused with CBD, THC, and these terms. Like, do you mind explaining, like, how CBD works?
Yeah. So CBD is one of two major cannabinoids found in the cannabis plant. So cannabis can be divided into hemp, which has less than 0.3% THC, or marijuana, which has more. THC is the compound that causes the intoxicating effects or the high associated with marijuana. So hemp legally in the US has to contain less than 0.3% THC, so that really most hemp-derived products are not going to cause that high. But CBD offers a variety of different benefits that really are related to balance in the body. So we have a system in our body called the endocannabinoid system, which is amazing. We have a system that directly interacts with cannabinoids. So those compounds that are found in hemp, and there's also cannabinoids in other things as well, like resveratrol in red wine is a cannabinoid. There's cannabinoids in green tea and in chamomile. But it interacts with the system in the body. And the endocannabinoid system is responsible for balance. So it interacts with the nervous system, it interacts with the digestive system. But when that system is functioning well, it really enables our entire body to function a little bit better. So CBD is one of the ingredients or one of the compounds that can really help support that system. And when balance happens, good things happen as a result.
Yeah, we love balance. So we want people to have hormone balance. Now, they need to have this endocannabinoids balance as well. This is so cool. And then at Joy Organics, you also sell full spectrum and broad spectrum products. Could you explain the difference? I think people also get confused with what each are.
Yes, I think there's a common misconception that full spectrum products contain a lot of THC, and that's not the case. There are products out there, and I'm in Colorado, so marijuana is legal. So there are products that are like, this is 20% CBD and then this much THC. This full spectrum is not that. Full spectrum is derived from hemp. So it is derived from a plant that has a lower THC content than, say, a marijuana plant. And it is predominantly CBD. What the process is for full spectrum is it just doesn't undergo an additional step. So we don't remove all of the THC from that product, but it still has less than 0.3% THC in the extract itself. So in the final product, you're still not getting very much THC. Broad spectrum products are for people who really want to limit the amount of THC that they're ingesting. So that those products undergo an additional step that removes the detectable amounts of that THC.
Okay, great.
Are there benefit with the THC though? Like if if you're interested in the full spectrum, what are some benefit with a little bit additional like THC?
I honestly, and I understand we have a lot of customers. I mean, a lot of our tinctures, our full spectrum tinctures are now outselling our broad spectrum tincture. So I understand that people are looking for that because I think a lot of times they hear, okay, this is going to be more beneficial. But as far as what studies show, as far as the research shows, the level of THC should not have a significant impact on what's called the entourage effect. So the entourage effect is like how CBD and other compounds, phytonutrients, and hemp, like terpenes, flavonoids, other cannabinoids, can interact together. So a lot of our products have at least 5% CBG, which is a different cannabinoid, but the level of THC in our full spectrum products probably wouldn't have a large influence on the entourage effect, just based on the studies and the research, the body research available.
Okay, cool. And you also said that you recently have some of your products certified as organic by USDA, and you're one of the few brands to have USDA certified organic broad spectrum products. So why is that, and what is the certification process like?
The certification process is quite long because we have a lot of partners, right? So we work with farmers and then we work with manufacturers. And in order to get USDA certification, the whole process has to be certified. Right. So the seeds, the farming process, the handling process, the extraction process, and the bottling process, that's what you need for the full spectrum products. But you need an additional step certified for broad spectrum. And up until recently, that step did not actually have any organic certifications yet. So that's the process. It's the it's the remediation process where they take out the THC. So that step in the production process was not certified to be organic yet. So once it was, then that made it available to us, but it still meant that we had to make sure that every single, like all of our ducks were in a row and that the USDA certification was possible. And then you submit everything and yeah.
Okay, sorry. So it's that last step that other brands might not have been able to engage with because it's a very recent development. Okay, that's interesting. That's great that you guys like hopped on it when it was open to people.
Oh, we had watched the process from the you were rating. I mean, organics is in our name, so we were but we need that green badge.
Yeah. Is that part of what the Hemp Roundtable also informs me of, like these kind of certification developments?
Not particularly, not that I'm aware of. I think for consumer advocacy and like that. But like even in the hemp or the CBD realm, organic certifications weren't available even for full spectrum products until after the Farm Bill. So that stuff like the Hemp Roundtable would be educational on and things like that. So once the Farm Bill passed, which enabled growing hemp to be legal, then USDA came in. And
great. Okay.
Part of the process. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
We love it. We not only love the product, I know you guys also have like your business practice. One of them is the carbon-free shipping. Could you explain that to our viewers?
So it's super important for us to be environmentally friendly. I mean, hemp is such an environmentally friendly plant. So we love being in the hemp industry in general. But part of being environmentally friendly is looking at all of our practices and the ways that we can be kinder to the earth. And so early this year, we partnered with a nonprofit organization called Carbon Fund. They're awesome. And that basically by partnering with them, we are able to offset the carbon emissions from our shipping process. So I highly recommend this. I talk to business owners all the time and I'm like, you got to get on Carbon Fund. It's great. Like they're awesome to work with. And it's a good experience for sure.
Yeah, we really admire businesses who take a holistic view of their product and not just like the product itself, but everything that goes into shipping and manufacturing.
Yeah. And our whole Joy Organics team, we had a managers meeting like 2 weeks ago, and we're always all of our managers, all of our leadership, everybody who pretty much works with Joy Organics like cares about the earth. We have volunteer time off, and we have this whole kind of cleanup this environmental cleanup as a big group activity.
Right.
So it's like in the heart of our company.
Yeah, that's great when you can work with people whose values align with your own.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll think through like, hey, this is a way that we can actually be a little bit more efficient or a little bit more
Right.
for the environment in this way. So
Yeah.
that's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you also have a Joy Day. What is Joy Day about?
So Joy Day, we wanted to create kind of a Joy Organics holiday that felt very close to the heart of our company. So Joy Day is it's in mid-February, so it's around my mom's birthday. And before Joy Organics came about, she was working with a lot of nonprofits. She was working in women empowerment and things like that. So it felt like giving back was going to be a really important part of our company. And so with Joy Day, our first 2 Joy Days, we were able to give a steep discount to encourage customers to try us for the first time or just stock up on Joy. But we also give back. So our first 2 Joy Days, we were able to give back to a school called Hope Primary School, which is in northern Uganda, and it's a school for South Sudanese refugees. And so we were able to provide school breakfasts and lunches and things like that and really partner with that school. They're doing awesome work out there. It's the South Sudanese in the refugee camp that started the school. And they were like, we need to make sure that these kids are being educated so that they're not, behind by years by the time that we can go back home. So awesome people to work with. I can't speak highly enough of them. And then this year we were able to partner with Food Bank of the Rockies. We wanted to move to an organization that was a little bit closer to home. And we were able to help give out, I think, 60,000 meals through our Joy Day,
Wow.
which was really awesome. And Food Bank of the Rockies is they do a lot of like kind of food rescue type stuff as well. So they're very environmentally friendly and helping the hunger crisis we're facing in Colorado due to the employment issues and COVID-19. So they're also an awesome organization to work with. Joy Day is such an exciting time. It's almost like a big party. And everyone in marketing who's like put all the effort into trying to make sure we can get the word out. We usually try to like go to the fulfillment center and make sure we can pack orders and get everything. Oh, it's just a big event. It's a fun, like heart of the company thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This is so cool. We love everything you said. Transparency, certifications, third-party lab testing, sustainable practice, shipping, and then now Joy Day. This is so awesome.
I appreciate that. I love what you guys do. And I have dealt with hormonal imbalance issues since I was like 15 years old. And I think so much of that was environmental. So I see how important that is, not just for fertility and things like that and for mental health, for really like every aspect of life. So I really love what you guys are doing. It's with the testing and the education. It's really good stuff.
Thank you.
And then before we wrap up, like, what's your favorite Joy Organic products? I actually have one. I have been using the Solve, and I've been putting on my wrist and my neck, like before I start the day and end the day. It's been really, really wonderful. What's yours?
I love the salve. There's that in my Big Fat Greek Wedding. The dad is like obsessed with Windex for everything. That's kind of how I am about our salve. Like I have it at my desk. I use it all the time. I use it for chapstick. I like anything. I got a pimple. I got put some salve on it. But my favorite is probably either our CBD soft gels. I think they're our most effective product because they are enhanced with nanoemulsion technology, which just means that it's more absorbable for your body. So I just I'll throw one in with my vitamins in the morning, and that's great. But my like guilty pleasure product, which is pretty guilt free anyway because they're vegan and they don't have a lot of sugar or anything. It's actually how my hair. It's our gummies. They're so delicious. I'll like keep them on my desk, and before a meeting that I don't want to have, I'll just pop a couple. We're good. Yeah, we all of the employees at Joy Organics get a certain amount of product every month, so I've always I'm CBD obsessed for sure.
This is so awesome. So like everybody who's viewing today, you can get 20% off by clicking in the LinkedIn bio under Joy Organic posts in our Instagram feed. So make sure to check it out. I need to check out those gummies.
Yes, definitely. I'll send you some actually.
Yeah, and also like everybody make sure to follow Joy Organics, and you can also, if you're in person, you can visit their retail stores in Austin, Texas, and also Wichita, Kansas. I'm hoping I get to make it to Austin one day to check out the store.
Yes, my sister runs that store and it's
awesome.
so fun. Yeah.
That's cool. Hopefully you'll have one in California soon.
Yes, we want you guys to be in California.
It'll be
like
great.
a plan.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for having me on, and I'll send you guys some gummies for sure. So, and thank you to everyone who's was watching, and I appreciate this time.
Thank you for making time
Thank
for us
you.
as
Thank you
well.
so much.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay, bye.